Hey everyone, and welcome to the Wide World of Wrestling podcast. We are here for a brand new episode of the Pod Champs. As you can tell by the title that we discussed last night, tonight's topic is going to be our road to WrestleMania. We are about under 60 days going into WrestleMania. Last night was a pretty eventful SmackDown, at least for one segment it was. Uh, Tonight we'll be going over the road to WrestleMania and how the build's going. We still have the Elimination Chamber coming up. We have a few more Raws and SmackDowns before WrestleMania. But yeah, tonight we got Jason joining us again for the Pod Champs. We also got Mr. Jacobs. I want to thank you both for being on. What do you? First, I guess we can start off by last night. As we know that The Rock was on SmackDown last night. Cody Rhodes and him had a segment. Very different Rock segment. I guess I'll go with you, Jason. What did you think about the Rock segment with Cody Rhodes last night, and where do you think this might be headed?
Well, for those of you that give me such a hard time for giving AEW such a hard time, you'll enjoy this. That was some weird shit, bro. I mean, you know, I kept expecting them to bleep him out, and we have to go back to the YouTube footage or wherever we could find it of him telling Cody to get on his damn knees and start sucking. I didn't know where the hell it was going, and I still don't. I mean, I don't know what the hell. I mean, I got that whole segment. I had like 3 text messages from friends of mine who watch it too, going, "Dude, what the hell?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea. I don't know where we're going with that." Now, I mean, we've talked about it a couple of times. I've said I think Cody, when he finally turns with all them big words he likes to use and as condescending as he can come across sometimes, I think he's going to make a great heel, and I think it'll be interesting once he does it. So we could be headed in that direction, especially with if the rumored match of him and John Cena goes through for WrestleMania. But I have no idea. Please guide me and tell me what you thought, because I left that segment going, well, what the hell did I just watch?
I mean, I think for me, I saw a little bit of Vince McMahon there, a little bit of Mr. McMahon influence. Being trying to find the corporate champ. There's been a handful of corporate champs. There's been Triple H, there's been The Rock, Stone Cold, there's been Kane at one time was a corporate champion. Different wrestlers in time have sold their souls in order to be the champion, and that's why I kind of see that a little going here, a little bit of Austin and McMahon there, like Austin just selling his soul just to get his hands on that title, and I mean, for me personally, I like that kind of storytelling, you have an option, you can have everything that you want. All you gotta do is you know just sell out whatever you believed in, and just come join the dark side. To me, I've always been intrigued by that kind of storytelling, especially in wrestling. I mean, you see it in movies all the time. I mean, in I don't know. I'm a fan of that kind of storytelling personally, but it did get really dark with the cryptic wording. The Rock, he's like, "I want your
Yeah.
soul," and the whole thing is that what flipped me out about it is that he was so nonchalant about it, like it was just normal talk, like it was just everyday conversation. It's like, "I want your soul," and he's like, "Well, you have until Elimination Chamber," and then he just walks away. I'm like, it blew my mind. Like I didn't think they were gonna go down that road. But I mean, like I said, I enjoy that kind of storytelling. It's intriguing to me.
I will enjoy it if it actually comes to if everything comes around and makes sense. Because
Right.
the way they started it last night, it just left me scratching my head. But I will say, if they want to turn Cody into the corporate champion and put him full fledged heel, and The Rock bringing family into it, if you want to get Cody heat, hire Brandy. That's a heat getting little girl right there,
Well,
boy.
that'll do it.
What'd you think, Connor?
Where I think this might, well, the segment in general I thought was very, very, very weird. Uh, at first, I didn't know I was watching a wrestling show, but I was watching the Orange and Black website. Uh, if you know what that. that is. The sim was very weird. A lot of I can see where they're kind of trying to go with it. Cody becoming a corporate champion, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I feel like when he says like you can have everything you ever wanted, he basically wants him to be like the Rock's champion, I guess, corporate champion, kind of like when Stone Cold sold his soul to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I think this story's gonna be a little bit different though. I don't think it's gonna go the same way as Austin and McMahon went. Uh, I think I also got the Elimination Chamber. When Cody is supposed to give his answer. There's two ways I see this going. One, Cody does turn heel, and we get a Super Cena going against Cody at WrestleMania, or Cody rejects it. Well, actually, there's three ways. Cody rejects it, and I always go back to the Royal Rumble press conference because John Cena had a very, very different interview that he did. He said that he is best for business. So maybe if the Cody declines, maybe John Cena's the corporate champion. Maybe he goes heel in his final run. He started as a heel, he ends it as a heel. Or, maybe Cody does turn heel. Maybe I don't know. CM Punk's involved in this too. He has that favor from Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman can kind of connect to The Rock. Maybe someone's turning on someone in this. Right. Someone's turning heel. Because The Rock said at the press conference last night as well that him and Cody's story does not have to accumulate into a match. So that kind of seems that The Rock's not going to wrestle at WrestleMania. Or maybe he's just trolling everybody to get people talking. If he's not wrestling, I would assume that he's going to be in the corner of someone. Or maybe we get something like last year where whatever the main event of night one affects night two. Maybe The Rock wrestles in a tag team match or something. Mm-hmm. And then whatever happens in that tag team match directly affects night two. But it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely intrigued to see where it goes because it was kind of like last year. You didn't really know where they were going with the story. Yeah. Like last year, for a while, we didn't know like it could go so many ways. And this is kind of the same thing. I mean, they can go different ways with it. It's definitely not predictable. I mean, I thought The Rock was just going to come back as the normal final boss and all that, but I really feel like Cody and The Rock doing that on Netflix, drinking tequila and all that, I feel like this is their way of trying to make that make sense.
Yeah.
So they're best friends. They drunk tequila together. They've gotten to know each other the past few months because they really should not have done that because if they did not, I don't think we get if they don't do that on Netflix, we don't get that kind of promo last night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at the same time, you can look at it like The Rock, when he was drinking tequila with them, was trying to kind of butter Cody up for what's ahead, And I mean, think about it. If Cody was to accept the offer, this would be a perfect time to pull out, Homelander Cody, because if anybody's ever watched the Boys, Homelander is a corporate sponsored superhero who was an asshole. I mean, it's a perfect thing. You can run it. I mean, if that was to go down that way,
well, in my oh so humble opinion, Cody's babyface run has gotten really stale. That's just my opinion. It's gotten, they did so much with the bloodline over the course of 3.5 years. I know a lot of people got to where they didn't like it anymore, but in my opinion, they did enough with it over the years to keep it interesting. And Cody's just doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know what's happening with Randy Orton, but if they're really going to turn Cody heel, what I can really see happening is him turn The Rock down at Elimination Chamber. The Rock goes full-blown heel and said he's going to make himself the special referee for the Cody Cena match. And then he helps Cody win. They hug, and it gives Cena a actual story moving forward than just his retirement and wrestling person X, this, that, and the other for his moving forward events.
I can actually see that happen now. You said that. or maybe we get some kind of turn at the Elimination Chamber. I don't know. All signs do point to Cody and Cena. If Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, then we're kind of guaranteed that. And maybe The Rock doesn't wrestle. Maybe he's a manager or a special guest referee or something like that. Because he just announced a new movie that he's doing, and some people were saying that they would not allow him to wrestle before that movie starts, because I guess they don't want him to get injured or delay the film.
Yeah, that was one of Cena's problems a few years back. When he was doing some movie, they would not allow him to have physical contact while the movie was shooting. So I forgot which one it was, but that's been a few years ago.
Yeah, I believe that's the same thing with The Rock, possibly. But it's definitely going to be interesting. Harry says heel Cena. That's the possibility. I mean, they could do the same thing like Jason said, but it'd be the reverse. He helps Cena win. But I really think that they should do a heel Cody, because in the long run, it's going to benefit Cody the most. Because after this year, Cena
and I was going to say I can't cannot see Cena going out as a heel, in his last run.
Right.
Yeah. I think in the long term things, Cody turning heel means more, because that affects the next 2 or 3 years. John Cena turning heel is just a feel good moment, I guess, something that they could have done years ago. But if they have Cody turn heel, they can have this going towards SummerSlam. They can have it going towards the rest of the year, and then maybe finally having Cena beat Cody eventually. But either way, I'm glad The Rock's in the mix of things, because he does make things more exciting. Last night it was great to see him and all, but hopefully these next few weeks things are a little bit more clear. I think at the Elimination Chamber we'll probably get some more answers. Then we might be able to see where it's going to go. But yeah, in the comments, let us know what you thought of the Cody and Rock segment. It was probably the most weirdest segment I've ever seen in the past some odd years in wrestling.
Yeah, it was weird.
I didn't think I was watching wrestling at first.
Yeah.
And then there for a minute, Cody, The Rock was kind of a heelish towards the fans. He told Cody that he effed up Rock and Roman last year. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was.
Going from that, there's another story that we kind of saw last night that could potentially lead into WrestleMania, and someone mentioned Randy Orton. I think it was Jason. You mentioned Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, I thought his injury was just to work, but we hadn't seen him in 3 or 4 months now.
It's been a good while. I thought he would return at the Royal Rumble, or I thought he might return at Saturday Night's main event in December, because Kevin Owens kept on making hints at Randy Orton that maybe he would cost Cody or cost Kevin Owens or something, but. We got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the Elimination Chamber unsanctioned match. And last night we saw definitely another weird. Well, I wouldn't say weird. It's a good heel move by Kevin Owens, but him just having a phone flashing into Sami Zayn's home, and you see Sami Zayn and his wife and kid. Where I think this is probably going to go, Randy Orton makes his return at the Elimination Chamber. I think it's an unsanctioned match. I think they go wild, and in the end of it, Kevin Owens is going to try to do another package pile driver, or maybe he does it again. Then Randy Orton.
I'm just thrilled they finally started letting him use it.
Yeah,
he's been he brought it back against Cody Saturday Night's main event. He did it on Randy Orton, did it on Sammy. He's been doing it a little bit more, and the way that they're doing it, it's like a important move to do. Like when he does it, it's gonna put just like the Sami Zayn feud. Like Adam Pearce didn't want to give him the match because he didn't want him to end his career. But where do you guys think this is gonna go for WrestleMania? You think that they say that something happens at the Elimination Chamber, which leads to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn again at WrestleMania? Does Randy Orton return?
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not sure. As soon as I was hoping when, I didn't think Kevin should have won the ladder match because we got other stuff to get to with Cody, but I was really hoping when Sammy came out that we were getting a Sammy heel turn instead of the same old BS with him and Kevin Owens, up and down, up and down, up and down, because it would have been an interesting twist to it. And like I said, somebody could have came out and helped Cody, or Cody could have overcame with a weapon or whatever to get Sammy out of the way and climb up, just something. But I mean, how many times between NXT and the main roster and El Generico do we have to see this flipping match? I mean, God, I'd be interested to Google how many times we've actually seen them wrestle on TV, whether it be pay-per-view or regular television. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a good match. I just have no interest in it.
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, they've wrestled each other thousands of times, and I mean, excuse me. I mean, I think for the segment itself, man, it was one of those other segments too that was just a little bit. I wouldn't say it was too much, but it was just about there. And like the only problem I had was that Sammy wasn't wearing a neck brace. That was my only issue. But and like the whole thing with him looking into the window and and looking at Sammy and his family, that right there, I mean, that's getting kind of going into that Pillman's got a gun kind of territory. Like he's going to this man's home. What's he gonna do next? It's like, like I said, with the whole angle with the Rock and Cody. I mean, I like that kind of storytelling. It becomes unpredictable at that point. You're like, where are they going with this? And I enjoy that kind of thing. And I mean, I agree. I really don't want to see them wrestle each other again. I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times. If you've seen a Sammy and Kevin match, you've seen them all. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't know if they can top what they did in ROH. To be honest with you, but I'm not interested in it personally either. I agree. It's probably going to be a badass match, but it's not for me. I'd rather see them team up together as a heel tag team. That's what I would love to see, to be honest with you. And I mean, and like as you can tell, I'm not alone in feeling that way. So that's my opinion on it. I mean, it's going to be a great match, but it's just not. It's not what I was looking for. Not this year.
Yeah, I kind of get what you guys saying. They've done the match quite a while, and I made a prediction last night. I think Jey Uso wins the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. SummerSlam, Kevin Owens wins the World Heavyweight title. They're in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble. They go against each other at WrestleMania, and Sami Zayn becomes a world champion, which I could be totally off. Here lately in WWE, I've not been able to predict things that I want to happen correctly. Like I'm normally able to predict. Like in AEW, I can predict everything, which in WWE it's not the same. But I think Randy Orton does make his return at the Elimination Chamber. WWE would want to have Randy Orton going into Mania. I think that WrestleMania. Randy Orton's one of the top stars. Actually, I've enjoyed throughout the years. Randy Orton is more. He's been a heel. He's been a face. He's done a million things. But I think Randy Orton does return at the Elimination Chamber, and we get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But I do think that Kevin Owens should win both of these matches, especially since Cody beat Kevin Owens 3 times in a row. I think Kevin. But yeah, that Elimination Chamber will probably be. It'll be a good match probably. And the WWE doesn't have good matches. Well, you're going to get a good match out of these two guys. They've never had a bad match. It's just about do people want to see it again?
Right.
You can only do it so many times. I mean, maybe he injures Jericho comes back. I don't know. But
Well,
I would love
we said,
that.
I don't think
it'll be a good match. It'll be an entertaining match, but
Right.
it's like for the how many time, I mean they're always going to give you a great match. They know each other, like the back of their hands. That they can they don't even have to call spots. They know what the other one's going to do.
Right.
I'm sure it'll be brutal. I'm sure both of them will wind up being bloody in an unsanctioned match, which you don't see a lot on WWE. So that'll be different. I'm just interested to see, like we were talking about, where they take it for Mania. Do we get an Orton come back? Do we, because if they set this up to where they just do a rematch of the two of them at WrestleMania, I'd be like, good Lord, again, come on now.
I think what they're going to do is Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and Karrion Kross has been kind of in Sami Zayn's ear the past few weeks on Raw. Maybe they do Karrion Kross and Sam, which I really like Karrion Kross's character work, his promos. The only thing he's not been able to do is get the fans behind him in the ring. That's his only one. If he can get the fans behind him, I think he can go a long ways. He's if anyone watches his stuff, like he can impersonate JC Von to a T. Watches Chris Van Vliet interview. He can talk like him just fine.
I'm with you.
But yeah,
I'm with you on Karrion Kross. I don't know if they're ever going to get him over on the main roster, because once they called him up and Vince kind of did the demolition BDSM gimmick with him, and then he's just been, he's another one that's been a start and stop push. And it's like, are they going to be able to do something to pull that trigger and actually get him over now with all the baggage that his character carries from the main roster? I like him too. I agree with you. I think, I think that entrance that him and Scarlett had in NXT was, it was amazing. I mean, it was one of the best entrances NXT had going on at the time. But, again, they I think, Vince had a lot to do with just pushing his character down, and people have not forgotten.
Right. I think what the best thing about his character, I think what they should hone in on is he has this devil's advocate kind of character, kind of like Sean O'Hara used to do. Like, he would be like, it's okay, cheat on your wife. She's never going to know. Or, take that drink. It's just one drink. Nothing's going to happen. That type of character. I think if they hone in on that and really focus on that, because there's nothing wrong with his in-ring skills. That's perfect. I mean, I wouldn't say perfect, but that's on point. His in-ring skills are on point. I think what they should do is when they should hone in on that devil's advocate kind of character and focus more on that and go a little bit edgier with it, and the fans would latch on to it. I mean, thing is, with Sean O'Hara, he was brilliant with it. Brilliant. I think his issue is that the fans weren't with them enough, and they didn't kind of push onto that character. I think if you push this character to that degree, the fans are gonna be attached to it. It's a great character. I think it is.
Just some stuff he's got to overcome after that dominant run as NXT champion. His first night on the main roster, Vince had him lay down to Jeff Hardy, who had not been used, used in a high profile spot at all. And he laid down like 2 or 3 weeks in a row to Jeff Hardy. And that was, then from there, it's just they've done nothing with him except for, then they brought him out in new gear and whatever the hell it was they had him wearing. And, even Edge, when he came back, Edge was still there and said, the last time I saw you, I was getting beat up by somebody in BDSM gear. And it's like, come on, man. We're trying to get past that.
I also think WWE did release Paul Ellering and AOP. I think that might benefit him as a singles role, because like they would always try to put him in multi-man feuds. Like they did the LWO, they did Wyatt Six, they did who else was it? They did somebody else. I can't remember who else. They would always try to do like multi-man feuds with Karrion Kross. But now him on his own, maybe finally, and I think if they do Sami Zayn is a very lovable babyface, over with the fans. Maybe putting him someone with Sami can get people to latch on team wise. He's good on the mic. He's got a good character. If he can never get the fans behind him, then he would be in a good direction. But we'll see where it goes. I think they will be. Just from what I'm seeing, I think Kross and Sami Zayn is going to happen, and Kross gets a upset victory. and hopefully from that point, because like the fans love Sammy, I don't like Sami Zayn anymore because what he did last year at
You let
WrestleMania.
it go.
We talked about that enough. Until Chad Gable wins a singles title, I'll never forget. I'll never get over that. Chad Gable, and that's another thing too. Chad Gable's been off TV for a little while, and he's going to the dark arts of lucha libre. Malachi Black has a wrestling school called the Dark Arts. I wonder if this is their way of bringing Malachi Black into
that was
WWE.
That was the rumor when he went up and asked Dom for help. With the luchadors. That was as soon as Dom said, "Yeah, I got somebody's number. I'll give you." And that was the immediate rumor was Aleister Black.
I hope they shoot a vignette of that. That'll be sick.
And I mean, maybe his first feud is Pentagon, because the Chad Gable stuff relates to Pentagon. He wants to get trained by the best luchadors to eventually beat Penta. I think Malachi and Penta had some matches in AEW. They were really good matches, and I do hope when Aleister, I need to get used to calling him Aleister Black again, because that's what his name is going to be. I hope they bring back his old theme song, old
from NXT. That'd be dope.
I don't want the Def Rebel theme music. I don't want new entrants, but Triple H is very big on presentation. He posted a video on Twitter about doing like Jacob Fatu's entrance, like behind the scenes stuff, and you can tell like with Penta, with Jacob Fatu, like he's very big on presentation, and Triple H had a lot of good WrestleMania entrances, so you can kind of see where the presentation comes from. But I wonder if we get Malachi before WrestleMania or after. Because we have Ricky Starks. They put him on NXT. A lot around this time of the year, a lot of spots are filled going into Mania. So there's not many spots to have someone debut in. So maybe they save Aleister Black and Miro Rusev for after WrestleMania, which you need some big things. And also Becky Lynch has not been seen going on this road to WrestleMania. I don't know where they put her now. I thought she would have returned at the Royal Rumble. She did not return there. She did not return to Netflix. She has not returned on Raw. So she might be saved for Raw.
Right now they haven't needed her. I mean, they got so much star power going on with whether you like what they're doing or not. Just the names that are on the show from damn near beginning to finish, they just haven't needed her. So I think they're saving her for a spot.
Yeah.
Speaking of the women though, that's my dark horse storyline for the Elimination Chamber to finally pan through. Will be Naomi winning the chamber by turning on Bianca, and then Jade will reappear, and it'll show Naomi was working with somebody that taped that footage of Liv and Raquel walking, and reveal her as the one that actually attacked Jade Cargill, and then we'll get the Naomi heel turn and have her facing Rhea Ripley at Mania.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that.
That's my dark horse prediction for Elimination Chamber, because there's nobody else in the chamber we've already seen her beat Liv. Bianca's been recycled in the title picture a lot, and I don't even remember who the hell else is in it. But Naomi is my heel turn dark horse for the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I agree.
And we also got on that one. On Monday they have that tag team title match. Bianca and Naomi defends against Liv and Raquel. If Bianca and them win on Monday, neither one of them is winning the chamber. I have a feeling that Liv and Raquel is going to win the tag titles, which I hope they do, because I don't want to see Liv in the main event. I don't want to see her in a title picture at WrestleMania. I am done with Liv Morgan. I don't care.
You're over it.
I don't want to see it no more. I don't want to see her. They should have in this transfer portal put Liv Morgan on SmackDown just to separate them.
If Naomi doesn't win, I hope it's Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
She's another one that Alexa Bliss, and they've had the Wyatt Six flashes.
Yeah, and she's wearing the Fiend jacket. She's still wearing that Fiend jacket too.
Yeah, that's an awesome jacket too. Yeah.
I could see them doing Alexa and Nikki Cross teaming up, and they put them together because she would be the sixth member. It's the Wyatt Six because we always wondered like, was the sixth person like in memory of Bray Wyatt or was it Alexa Bliss? It's probably going to be Alexa Bliss with the way things are going. And like, what did they do with the Wyatt Six at WrestleMania? I mean, they had him in the Miz doing some stuff, but they moved that on to SmackDown. It really does feel like the Wyatt Six have lost a lot of the momentum.
Yeah, they haven't done anything with them since their real debut.
Yeah, got lost in the shuffle, kind of.
Well, that and they had Bo lose to who was it, the Miz he lost to or somebody else he lost.
I think it was. I think they had like a 6-man.
No, it was a one-on-one match, and he lost it. That was the last time I saw him on TV, and I was like, yeah, okay,
It may have been the Miz. I think so.
Might have been Karrion Kross or the Miz.
But one thing I'd like to see at the Chamber, I don't think CM Punk's going to win. I don't think Rollins is going to win. I don't think Damien's going to win. I don't think Drew's going to win. But I don't want anybody pinned before they're all out. And then I want to see Logan Paul running his mouth, and then just the other 5 turn and look at him. And then they give, and all 5 of them give Logan Paul their finish, and whoever gives him the last finish pins him because it doesn't take anything away from him. It doesn't make him look weak. And then they just roll his ass out of the cage.
Brilliant.
That would be perfect because Rollins doesn't like him. Punk doesn't like him. Priest doesn't like him. I don't think Cena. I don't think
Drew likes anybody these days.
Wow, it's Drew versus the world now.
Which
well, all the rumored matches you have, and they're just rumors, but it's rumored Damien against Drew at Mania. Then you got the rumored 3-way with Punk, Rollins, and Roman. And that damn near takes everybody else, out of the chamber, except for John Cena.
Yeah.
Logan Paul's not going to win it.
I hope not. They pulled the Jey Uso, but I don't think they pulled another Jey Uso. I don't think they do.
Not with Logan Paul. Hell no.
I'm very conflicted on the Jey Uso thing. I will tell you that. Because he got beat at Saturday night's main event. It was a decent match, and he's over like Grover. Don't get me wrong. He's the crowd is into his music, but it's I'm glad he's getting the singles push. He did not have that great of an Intercontinental title run, even though it was it was the bloodline that cost him that title to lose it back to Braun. But he lost at Saturday night's main event to give him this match. Odds are that he's going to win, but is he really a world champion? Is he really going to, him as the man versus him coming out and being the underdog? How's that going to work? I just don't see him as a world champion, and I don't see him, logistically beating Gunther. Gunther is just technically sound. He can beat you in so many different ways. And, every time he's held a title, he's held it for, 19, 20 years at a time. And I don't know. I just don't see Jey Uso as a world champion. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I mean, he's great for the show, gets the crowd involved, but just I can't see him in that spot yet.
I think when it comes down to it, I think it's the storytelling of it all. His story over the last couple of years, from being in the bloodline, all involved in that, and then going out on his own, and then people doubting him from the jump, and then him getting to the spotlight as far as the IC championship. I think it's a great story. It's a good it's great. It's a great wrestling story. Coming back from all that adversity to win the Royal Rumble, and then he challenges the one dude that's been kicking his ass all year. It's not bad storytelling to me. I mean,
no, not at all. It's just the way I picture it. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's like, Roman, one of the things that I credit Roman for was, he's talked about in interviews that when they talked about that run he went on, that he said he was all for it, but he was bringing his family along. And, God bless him for it, because as much as I watched this stuff over the years, I was guilty of not being able to tell the Usos apart. and now now the whole world can. So
Right.
kudos to them all. And I mean, as far as interest music stuff like that, Jay's the most over guy they've got, whether you like him or not. You don't have to like his in-ring skills, but for as much as they'll sing Seth Rollins' song, and you could go down 100 entrances.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody gets that crowd going like Jey Uso does.
And
But
the man moves merchandise like
he
a
does.
machine.
But will the audience buy him as a world champion? And that's what I'm having a problem with.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I think if he does win it, he'll get a title run like Damian Priest. He'll have it to SummerSlam, and then he'll lose it. To me, I do not see him as a world champion. I see him as an Intercontinental or U.S. champion. Maybe he wins the World Heavyweight title. If he wins it, I don't think he wins it again. But I really feel like the wrong Uso won. I feel Jimmy Uso is so much better than him in ring. The past few weeks on SmackDown, Jimmy Uso's won against Carmelo. He had the triple threat against Carmelo. Drew McIntyre at LA Knight. He went against Carmelo twice. And in ring, he's so much better than Jey Uso. But the difference is Jey Uso is so much over than Jimmy Uso is, and he draws more people in. He gets more people invested. But to me, if he does win it, he'll get a like Damian Priest. He'll get a run like through SummerSlam, and then that'll be it.
Now, for those of you out there, do not take this the wrong way. I am not comparing Jey Uso's technical skills to Bryan Danielson's, but to me, it's kind of the same story as you got with Danielson those years ago with the Yes chant, and people going, is it Bryan that's over, or is it the chant? And people still in AEW and WWE both will still do that Yes chant, and he hasn't been seen in months. And even after he left WWE, they were still doing the chant. So, is it Jay that's over, or is it just the yeet? I mean, so that's kind of where I'm looking at it. I mean, God bless him if they put the title on him. I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope he can skyrocket with it. I just don't know yet.
I mean, it's like the chicken or the egg kind of thing, I mean, but I think it's the the wrestler that makes the chant pop. Without him doing the chant, and he has to be popular enough for the fans to latch on to it. I mean, so I don't know. I guess it's up to the fans if they latch on. If they latch on to that certain superstar, but you have to have that certain superstar that has that charisma enough to have them people latch on and chant. So.
And in my opinion, if you let him win the world title, it needs to be a similar finish to what you got with Jimmy and Drew last night. You can't let him.
Mhm.
You can't let him decisively beat Gunther, because then you're gonna kill his image for a while and have to rebuild.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm a firm. Look, I've always heard the saying, and I really believe that the title does not make the man makes the title.
And I agree wholeheartedly.
And I think the title might make Jey Uso. I don't think it's going to be him making the title. I mean, maybe he actually has a really good run with it, and I hope he does. But I've seen it with people. There's a lot of people I've seen that with. When CM Punk first won the World Heavyweight title, I feel like the title was making him. He was. I'm talking about the World Heavyweight title, not the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
But when he first won that, a lot of people thought that he was not ready for it. And there's been other people like that too, like Jinder Mahal. The only reason they did that was because they were going on a tour to India.
Yeah, that was a business move.
But there's been other people. But I really hope he does have a good run with it. And I know Rakishi's probably proud, because there for a while he was really pissed at his booking in WWE. Hopefully he's there at WrestleMania if he does win it.
Yeah, I'm amazed with all the bloodline stuff they've done that we haven't seen Rikishi once or twice.
Yeah, like I was kind of hoping that he'd be in the War Games match, because it was kind of like a Bloodline Civil War. I was kind of hoping maybe he'd do a little spot. Maybe he'd do a stink face to Tonga Loa, since he's the worst member of the entire family. I think Tongaloa and Nia Jax are competing. Who's the worst member in the family?
Man, don't be bad mouthing my big bitch. You know that's my big bitch. I love me some Nia.
Yeah.
Last night that was.
I ain't afraid to jump on that mountain lion.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to tame it.
Well, she has improved. I feel like a lot of people carry her in like Bianca, Naomi, Bailey, which she has improved a little. But when you throw shows like Cole,
I'm probably gonna get some hate for this one, but if you didn't watch SmackDown last night, and even if you did, go back and watch when Candice and Nia come out. First off, the outfit she had on looked like she was trying to do a cosplay thing from the Fantastic Four. And second off, it wasn't that I was looking. You could not miss that camel toe she had going on in them pants. I mean, it was bigger than Candace's ass. And I was like, good God, girl, somebody didn't tell you about that before you walked out of the curtain? Holy shit. But
I mean, I didn't have any complaints with the person. I thought it was pretty.
I wasn't complaining. I told you I'd jump over. Next live event I go to, if it's televised, that's going to be my sign. Nia, will you marry me? Nia, can I get an 8-second ride?
And talking about
Nia, drop me.
And talking about Nia from last night, Tiffany and Charlotte, Charlotte won the Royal Rumble. So far, I feel like the feud's been all right. I feel like Jey Uso and Gunther has more steam to it than this match, but like for both matches, they're gonna have to do, like for Gunther and Jey and Charlotte and Tiffany, they're gonna have to do different things to make it entertaining. Because we still got a little bit of February, all of March, and halfway through April. They're gonna have to do different things to make that interesting.
Well,
doing Yeet over and over and over again is not. They're gonna have to do different things. And I think Charlotte and Tiffany will have a very good match at WrestleMania.
The thing with those two is that, since Tiffany got called, even before she got called up, the comparisons to Charlotte Flair have been there. And then I think they're looking to do the same thing with Tiffany that Charlotte did for Rhea, win, lose, or draw, that she's there to make another superstar. And, to make her look like $1 billion. I think that's where they're going with that. And I'm not sure how that'll go. Charlotte could win, Charlotte could lose, but I think that's why I think we'll get Charlotte and Rhea one more time they're 1-1 at WrestleMania. I think we'll eventually get that one more time, but for now they need to elevate Tiffany.
Yeah, I think Tiffany should win as well. Because her winning at her cashing in the Money in the Bank should be a big deal. Like that was a big moment. She's fresh out of WWE. Like she had not wrestled outside of WWE. Like she was a NIL person they brought in. She was a cheerleader. Mm-hmm. Same with Obafemi. He's a NIL talent as well. Speaking
of Obafemi, good God, him and Moose standing neck to neck on NXT Tuesday. I'm like, ain't no way I'd get between them two dudes. Nope. Nope.
This is a story that I haven't. Maybe Mr. Jacobs knows the story. When I was part of a booking team, but for a wrestling promotion near me, we booked Moose quite a few times. He stayed at my house actually a few times. He signed my door to my room. We talked a lot. He's a very, very nice guy. I think he's good in the ring. A lot of people on social media don't think he's that good, but I think he's pretty good. And NXT needs a boost in their men's division.
Well, yeah, it's been NXT ass for the past 8 months. I mean, you get a men's match here and there, but I mean, it's been all about, I ain't complaining. Those women are doing a hell of a job down there, but that show's been all about the women for the last, like I said, 6-8 months.
I think the tag team division stepped up a little bit. They've kind of put more effort into that. But the women they've been carrying the brand of NXT, I feel like. For the men, it's just Oba, Trick, and Eddie Thorpe. We got Ricky Starks coming in. He's probably going to be a big boost for that. Then this TNA partnership, we've got the Rascals. We've gotten who else came through there for the men? Alexander Hammerstone. He went against Moose. He went against Oba one time.
Yeah.
But Moose is going to be a big. This feud should get some steam behind Oba. out of this entire partnership, the one match I've always wanted to see was Moose and Obafemi.
But the thing about that is, which one do you make lay down? I mean, you know,
it's probably it's probably going to be Moose.
And I don't want to see that, because then you're going to have everybody online going, you know, they're killing TNA's big stars. And I just, you know, but the two of them, I mean, you know, honestly, they don't look like either one of them should lay down as big as they are. They look like they should beat each other half to death, and neither one of them be able to get back up.
See, maybe they do a finish to where
finish.
neither man wins, or maybe there's like a screwy finish, like something that I don't know. Like maybe they have someone from TNA calls Moose. But this next Thursday on TNA, Oba's going to wrestle on TNA. It's going to be Oba and the Hardys, and I believe Leon Slater versus Moose's group. I forget what they're called.
The system. I was going to say that the NXT actually said, you know, a member of the system, you know, when Moose was coming out. So
yeah, because we got Fandango, now known as JDC. He went against Lexus King. He's part of that group as well. So, like, this is a big boost for the men's division. Maybe using this partnership will help the men's division a little bit. I mean, the women, like, they're stacked. Like, they just signed Jordan Grace officially to WWE. She's with NXT. They got Julia, Zarya, Stephanie Valkyria, Saruka. It looks like Roxanne Perez has now moved on to the main.
Yeah, she's in the chamber. So
yeah, it looks like the plan for Mania might be Roxanne and Bayley, which I think that's a pretty good feud for her first feud in WWE on the main roster.
Right.
I don't know. She's like a lot of the people in NXT that I see just getting called up, you know, doing something with her for a month or two and then getting lost in the shuffle. And I hope I'm wrong. You know, Roxanne's good in the ring. She's decent on the mic. But again, it goes back to what we've been talking about. They are so stacked in talent. That's why, you know, I think, like, you know, we've talked about this before. I would love to see them, now that they have the secondary women's title on all three brands with Netflix, doing an all women's 2-hour show. You've got more than enough talent to do it for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they should consider doing that. And I really feel like the 5-match PLEs have got to come to an end. I think the bare minimum for a pay-per-view should be 7 matches, because now you've added 2 women's mid-card titles. So you got, and one thing I did not like I think it was this week or last week, they had both women's mid-card titles lose clean. They had Chelsea lose in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber, and they had Lyra lose. I think that kind of diminishes the importance of those titles. But I mean, Roxanne Perez would be a great. She would be a great feud for Lyra, for the women's Intercontinental. You know, they haven't really been doing anything with Lyra with the title. This next Monday, she's going against Dakota Kai for the title. But Roxanne's a good heel. She's great on the mic. She's good in the ring. I think she can be a women's world champion in WWE if booked right. I would like to see Roxanne and Becky have a feud together, or Roxanne and Natalia. You know, like Roxanne, I feel like could be someone that could boost some stuff for them. She's a breath of fresh air. I feel like if they book her in important stuff and not just she comes in, has a few big moments, and then she's kind of in the background. We see her every once in a while. Hopefully they book like a lot of these women, because a lot of like Julia, Stephanie, like they're going to eventually come to the main roster. Jordan Grace.
I love me some Stephanie Vacour. Great day in the morning.
Yeah, she's one. I actually feel that they should have reversed the roles. That Stephanie should be the NXT Women's Champion, and Julia should be the North American Women's Champion. I kind of enjoy Stephanie a little bit more. You know, she had these, and she's had some good matches in WWE or NXT, same thing. But
speaking of women, and we don't have to go off on a tangent because I'm changing subject for 2 seconds. Speaking of the women, Harley Cameron's been the best thing at AEW for the last couple of months. I'm getting a kick out of Harley Cameron.
Yeah.
So what is the whole card for the Elimination Chamber? I know we got the 2 chambers, and then
we have 2 Chambers matches, Kevin Owens and Sammy, and we have. I'm thinking one match will be added by next Friday, but we have Tiffany Stratton versus Candice
Oh
Ray.
yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
And you talk about Lyra and Chelsea losing. You know, it surprises me with as much as everybody talks about how old school Triple H is. You know, if you ever go back to King of the Rings and tournaments like that, you know, the Intercontinental and U.S. champions were never in them to have to take that loss unless they were going to get that match with the world champion. So to me, they should have never been in qualifying matches.
And they got plenty of women. They got plenty of women that they didn't need to have them in there. Like they could have had Natalia in one of them. They could have had. I don't know. They got B-Fab. I mean, she can take a loss. I mean, she's not really doing anything.
I don't think she's going to be around much longer with all the releases they got going on.
Yeah,
I could be right.
You know, I really like.
We were talking about.
I really liked Lopez.
We were talking about that
released her.
Yeah, they released Electra Lopez. I did, but she was kind of more of a valet role, manager role.
Yeah.
B-Fab has potential, but we'll see what they. But she could have laid down for Naomi. Like they didn't have to have Chelsea do it. They could have
after what we've had the past few weeks, that they could have had a fatal 4-way for the tag titles with the Profits, DIY, Pretty Deadly, and the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm gonna tell you, it's not that I didn't like the Street Profits. I just thought their shtick had gotten old because they had been basically doing the same thing, you know, since NXT, and then they tried to do it with Lashley, and Lashley, of course, left. He didn't re-sign. And they kind of went back to the same thing. But this stuff they've had them doing since they got jumped and didn't get their match and coming out in all black and just beating the shit out of everybody, I'm all for it, man. I'm like, get them. Because like,
I agree 100%. Yeah.
You know, the Motor City Machine Guns come out last night like they were going to make the save, and then they got their ass whooped too. I'm like, go ahead, get them. You know, so I'm happy with what they're doing with the Street Profits, and I'd like to see them get the titles.
I think there's that edge they needed, though. I mean, it's that edge they needed. And the thing is, it's not like the Street Profits aren't credible champions. They are credible champions. I think it's just poignant for them. I think this is exactly what they needed to do to make a statement within the division to say, hey, y'all keep stepping over us. We're going to take it by any means necessary.
Absolutely. Their in-ring work has never been questioned. They've always been a great tag team. It's been the presentation. And I think that, you know, and both of them, you know, Montez Ford's built like a brick shithouse. And, and, you know, and Dawkins, he's slimmed down. He's in better shape. They've always been, you know, good in the ring. And, you know, now they're finally starting to do something with them. Like you said, you know, you don't want to give it to us. Don't worry about it. We'll just take it.
Exactly.
I like what they did at the Royal Rumble, where you thought they're kind of a tweener tag. They're not really a face. They're not really a heel. They attacked Morrissey Machine Guns, but they also beat up DIY. So like they're going after everybody. I think at WrestleMania, we will see some type of multi-man tag team match for those titles, and I think Street Profits will win them there, or they should at least. Like I think they should win them at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Maybe they do like a. See, they just did a ladder match at the Royal Rumble, so maybe they do a something a little bit different. Maybe they do a gauntlet tag team match. Maybe they do a TLC match. Maybe they do an elimination tag match. I don't know, but I think we will see some type of multi-man tag team match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, the past few weeks too that they're setting up for Jacob versus Solo, which now I'm trying to remember who Braun Breaker's been, you know, messing around with, because that was a possible rumor match was Braun against Jacob, but you know, now we're going to get Jacob and Solo, so it's like who's Braun going to defend against, and then
AJ Styles could be credible. You know,
AJ Styles is rumored to be facing Finn for whatever reason. And if he does, I hope we at least get the Demon at WrestleMania. I don't think we've ever had the Demon at WrestleMania. No, we did that one match with him and Edge, and he got hurt, and they had to turn the camera while they stitched him up or did something.
Yeah.
But
I think Braun. I mean, they did tease him in Penta. I don't like what they do on Netflix. Is like during the commercials, the international fans get interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
So we never got to see it. So we never got to see Braun Breaker and Penta.
Well, I think if you've got the $20-some version of Netflix, you don't have to watch the commercials either. You get those interviews as well.
Oh, the premium, yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to do that because like stuff like that is very important. Like Braun and Penta, like that would be a pretty good match.
I'm not sure.
But,
That seems like a styles clash to me. No pun intended to AJ. I mean, Braun's hard hitting and Penta's flying all over the place. I don't know. I'd have to watch the match and let you know what I thought when it was over. It just seems like especially with Penta just coming in now and getting used to the bigger ring and the WWE style versus what he was used to. So I'm not sure how that one would turn out in my eyes. Not right now, anyway.
I think that they are going to do one break. I think it's going to be on Raw before Mania. I think they're going to do that match, and then something's going to happen to where AJ is going to lose in a cheating way, like maybe because we did see Braun Breaker beat not Braun Breaker. I mean AJ Styles beat Dominic. Then Braun Breaker just demolished Dominic. He speared Dominic. AJ moved the other way, so maybe
I'm gonna tell you, as many spears as we've seen over the years from Goldberg, Roman, Edge, you could name everybody. That spear that Braun Breaker put on that kid in the Royal Rumble was fantastic.
Yeah, high speed. That was great.
I think that was one of the best spears I've seen.
He took it like a champ, though, man. I gotta give it to him.
He did. Who? All right, my memory's escaping me. Who's the U.S. champion right now?
Shinsuke.
That's right. So I guess we'll get. They might save that LA Knight for a rematch at Mania. I hope not, but we'll see what they do with him.
I think gonna have LA Knight Shinsuke at the Elimination Chamber, and then at WrestleMania they're gonna do LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre, the U.S. title. Apparently they've readjusted Drew McIntyre's plans because it was Drew and Priest, but it looks like that they might be doing him and LA Knight, which Drew McIntyre's never won the U.S. title. That's the only title he needs to be Grand Slam champion.
That's right.
So maybe that's something important that he can do.
I'd like to see
Punk and Cody.
I'd like to see Sheamus get another shot at the Intercontinental title by winning the tournament or something and actually win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
I think I've been saying that too. That WrestleMania would be a great place for him to finally.
Yeah, because they've made such a big deal out of that's the one title he's never won.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been going on for like 2 or 3 years.
Well, hey, but
he had a thing with Gunther.
We brought up Shinsuke. Here's a what if for you. What if Cody turns heel? Shinsuke's kind of in the middle, kind of where he's been, and they bring Brandy in, and something said about Shinsuke having a black belt. What would her comeback be? I don't know.
Who the hell told you tonight was this?
Oh man.
That would be, Cody Rhodes having Brandy as his manager, and
if they want to get him heat, I'll give her a due. I mean,
That's
she's annoying. She's annoying as hell to listen to on TV, but yeah, she's nuclear heat all day long.
She when Cody was a heel in TNA, he had a brief run in TNA, and Brandy was his manager. She was pretty good as a heel, like manager or whatever.
No, she could piss you off easily.
Well, I think Samantha could too. I think they're missing the boat there because they're talking about bringing her into AEW, and I would love to see Ricochet go out there and being there doing this heel character with him and just have him snatch the mic out of Justin Roberts' hand. It's like, you suck, bro. I got my own ring announcer, and bring her out and let her do her thing beside him. So I'd be interested in that.
That's kind of Mr. Kennedy in a way.
Yeah.
He didn't have a personal ring announcer, but he would do it himself, and he would always tell Tony Chimble, "God, like, can you get any better? Like, I have to do my own ring entrance because you suck so bad." We are going to get to the comments in just a minute.
We're gonna get to the comments. Calm down in the comments. We're doing a show here. Don't worry.
Where were we talking about? Damn, lost my train of thought. The Intercontinental, I think they do AJ and Braun on Raw. And then something's going to happen in that match to where they maybe Dominic or Finn Balor costs AJ Styles, then they set up AJ and Finn. They might do a multi-man for the Intercontinental. I think it's time for Sheamus to finally win that title. And at WrestleMania, that would be the best place for him to win it. Like, finishing his story, like finally winning that title, even if it's just for a 1 day reign. Maybe he loses it on Raw next night. Him finally winning that belt, I think they need to make that finally happen.
Well, let's go over. You joined us late. Was that Lotto Kiba? Is that what this is? We discussed.
Yeah, let's get to him.
We discussed Cody and Cena with Rock either helping one or the other out, but it'll definitely be Cody and Cena. We've gotten AJ and Punk years ago, and I'm sure it would be a great match. I don't know how both of them are baby faces right now, so you'd have to that'd be an after WrestleMania thing to put them headed toward each other. And no, we don't suck, but if the price is right, we might swallow. So I don't know how much money you got, but you're
That's all you, man.
Man, you got
Punk and AJ,
7 zeros behind something. We gonna talk about damn near anything.
Now, folks, you gotta remember in the chat. We're doing a show here, and we will get to your comments. We're also doing content at the same time, so you got to bear with us.
That's just gotta make them part of the show, man. So no ill will, man. Like I said, you jumped in late, and we covered Rock and Cody and Cena earlier, and Punk and AJ aren't on a collision course right now. That'd have to be an after Mania thing, but we've gotten that match before years ago. Go back, look it up. I'm sure we'd get another good one as long as they've both gotten older, as long as one of them didn't get hurt halfway through the match, and so.
Yeah.
And I think AJ's on his final run. I think AJ's ready to wind it down and call it a career.
I think
Hall of Famer. I think.
I do hope at Slammiversary that TNA is going pretty big. I do hope that he makes at least one appearance in this partnership. When you think of TNA, a lot of people think of AJ Styles. I mean, he says that he built SmackDown, but he really built TNA. When I think of TNA, I think of three guys: Jeff Jarrett, AJ, and Sting. AJ Styles is the main one.
I think of Jeff, of course, AJ, and Samoa Joe. Those are the three I think of.
Samoa Joe is moving too. Like the cruiserweight, not the cruiserweight. The X Division was a big part of TNA. The match that most people remember, I believe, was Destination X. Christopher Daniels, Joe, and Styles. That was probably, I don't know, maybe it is the best match in TNA history. I don't know. I'd have to really go and look.
I don't know. I'll tell you, those Joe Angle matches when Angle first came in, those were top notch as well. And you talk about a Slammiversary. WWE caught a lot of flack last year for not letting AJ go into the Hall of Fame, and AJ finally come out and said that was me that turned it down. Man, I don't want to go into any Hall of Fame while I'm still a full-time performer. Which I'm not I'm not sure if that was a shot at Ray or what that was, but he's like, that wasn't the company, man. That was me. I didn't want to go in.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
For Punk and AJ, AJ did comment about that last year at some point. I think at WrestleMania weekend that he wanted to go against Punk at least one time before he hangs it up. Punk and AJ didn't get along for a while. I think it was some stuff, not really wrestling wise. I think they have two different political views, and they kind of like each other. But I'm thinking they talked a lot because he said that he's loved CM Punk back in WWE. Like he really is glad to be back. So
everybody that's commented on Punk has said he's a completely different person than the last time he was there. So
yeah, like if you can look at his promos, he's a completely different person. Like that was 10 years ago, and it looks like he's cured some relationships with like Triple H. John Cena, him and John Cena's always had a great relationship. Even when he quit, he would talk great about John Cena. But I wouldn't be surprised if like the Miz, he made up with the Miz, Corey Graves. Like, there's been a lot of people that he's had great relationships now that he didn't in the past.
You bring up Corey Graves. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I would love to see because Pat McAfee's took a shot at Graves whenever it was last time on whatever show that was. He took a shot at him on, and I would love to see either McAfee show up on NXT for some odd reason, or McAfee just to be in the ring talking about something, and Corey come out and go, "You got something to say?" Because Corey was cleared. they were talking about doing a mixed tag match with him and
Yeah, I
Carmelo
heard that.
before, and then Carmelo got pregnant. So it was kind of, Corey's come out and said that, he don't want to get back in the ring full time, but he wants to do a match here and there. And, you might not want to see it, but, Corey Graves and Pat McAfee, both of them can talk. So, they would make it interesting for you to want to see it, no matter how the match turned out. And, McAfee's proven that if he trains long enough, he can give you a decent match.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, he does some stuff on NXT. He did the. Did he go against Vince McMahon?
No, he went against. I
that...
forgot who he fought, but he won, and then Vince kicked him in the nuts and made the referee start the match, and he pinned him after he kicked him in the ding ding.
Wasn't that Vince?
At that time he was Vince
McMahon's
Austin Theory. Yeah,
Austin Theory. That's
it.
Vince McMahon's favorite at the time.
But not that you talk about Punk and Cena, not that it would be a great match. I mean, Meltzer would give it negative stars before they ever got in the ring. But just because of their history on this farewell tour of Cena, I'd like to see them go at it one more time.
I think this year I should do Punk and Cena one more time. Their most famous match is Money in the Bank 2011 or 12. I believe that's when they had their match. But their best match was on Raw in 2012. That was their best in-ring match. But the most memorable one is the Money in the Bank. So maybe they run it back at the Money in the Bank. This is the last time to do some of these matches. I would love to see John Cena go against some people that he's never went against. I really hope we get Joe Hendry and Cena when he did, because John Cena was right about to come out.
Yeah.
That would have been a pretty cool moment, because Joe Hendry always talks about John Cena on TNA. He actually referenced him on TNA this last week.
Yeah, I saw the clip. I saw the clip of that.
He said that once he won the TNA title, that he was going to call out John Cena. I don't know. We've seen some crazy things.
You talk about a great Raw match. I'd have to go back and look. That actually might be a good topic for one of these shows that we do one night. It was the greatest matches of Raw of all time, but being it's been around for 30 plus years. But for my money, and I can't think of off the top of my head something I like better, was Shawn Michaels and Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, that was an awesome match. And if you've never seen it, I know Shelton's not much of a promo, but that boy can go. He always could go. And he was looked at the best athlete and the best wrestler when it was that big class in Ohio Valley that had him and Lesnar and Cena and Batista, and I think there was another one there too. But Orton, yeah, there you go. And but yeah, that match, if you've never seen it, do yourself a favor, go back and watch it.
Yeah, that was, especially the guy in the Hulk Hogan bandana. For a while, that was in the Raw intro, that super kick.
Yeah.
We had an interview on here. I believe it was O'Shea Edwards, and he talked about that. That was one of the most, as a child, that was one of his most.
Oh my God.
Shelton Benjamin.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, did you see have you seen any of these Moose memes with the blonde mustache? That did you see the blonde mustache he had on NXT when he came out? Did you notice it? He had a blonde Fu Manchu going on. And there's been so many memes of, hey, Hulk Hogan's finally your brother. I was like, oh dear God. Oh my.
People are just running with it.
Like people got too much time on their hands.
After that last night, I was totally thinking about it like he was tricky. I remember, I think in the Elimination Chamber, we're going to get some more answers to that.
Yeah.
To anyone that's confused about it. What do you guys think about The Rock, and what is he building towards WrestleMania? And what do you guys think about the building for the WrestleMania this year so far? Personally, I think there's not really one specific predictable way you can really see it going. But Cody turns heel. We're going to be like Jason said. They have the match. The Rock's a special guest referee. And he turns on Cena and then helps Cody win.
I don't think if we're going to get a heel Cody, it won't happen at the Elimination Chamber. It'll be some kind of Rock interference, whether he's on the outside of the ring and, it looks like he's going to cost Cody the title like he tried to last year, or, he's the referee, he's doing something, and then you get the Cody heel turn, and there's a bottle of tequila sitting under the announce desk or something, and it goes off the air with them, arm in arm taking shots of tequila.
I could see that happening.
Counting their money.
Or, I talked about earlier, Cena could possibly turn heel. But personally, I think the better outcome would be Cody, like long term, like 2-3 years. Cody turning heel would mean more long term than John Cena going heel. But it's going to be an interesting story to see where this goes, because I think The Rock will be at WrestleMania. He just will not be wrestling. But The Rock being ways interesting, as we've seen last year.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how much ring time we might get from The Rock, but another possible scenario is Cody says no. The Rock, turns on him at WrestleMania, not turns on him, but, costs him the match at WrestleMania. Cena wins, but it's not a Cena heel turn. The next night he comes out on Raw because he didn't realize what happened and calls The Rock out, and, they go at it one more time with Cena basically telling him, I didn't need your damn help. I didn't want your help. I didn't like you 10 years ago. I don't like you now.
That's the way to go.
There's another angle for it. Without turning Cody heel. That way, if they get seen as a champion, drops it to The Rock, and then Cody can come full circle and take it from The Rock.
There's a ton of ways. It's kind of like last year. Like, you really could not tell where it was going to go, but there's a lot of paths that can go. There's not really a definitive plan that that they're going to go. It's just all speculation now.
But I will say this,
and I will say much.
If we get Cody and The Rock together as a corporation type deal, it'll be much better than Vince and Steve Austin, because to me that was the worst part of the Stone Cold run we ever got.
That's some funny moments, though.
It was funny. It was funny. That's the funny stuff, yeah, but it just wasn't what the Stone Cold character had become.
Right.
It wasn't what got him so over and selling, the number one merchandise seller and blah 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 and all that. It just it wasn't the same character.
As Jim Ross said, Stone Cold sold his soul to the devil.
There you go.
You might get that again this.
The Rock is offering Cody the same deal.
And Brenda's asking about Batista. Batista has flat out said that was his last match against Triple H. He went out the way he wanted to go out. He has said that he will go into the Hall of Fame. Brett versus Batista, that might be a wheelchair on a pole match. But there's just a ton of different ways. We got a lot of matches to get set up for WrestleMania. They're giving us teasers here and there, but we don't have really anything concrete of how it's going to go, and we're not really going to get much more of that until after the Elimination Chamber.
Wheelchair on a pole match. I'm going to make something with that. I'm going to make a graphic for that and have on a pole a wheelchair on top. That would maybe Brett. He doesn't need to be wrestling anymore. He had a great career.
Yeah, he had a great run.
Maybe Riley. Yeah, I think Batista will be in the Hall of Fame eventually. He was supposed to go in during COVID, but I'm glad he did not. I wish they would have just canceled the entire year's Hall of Fame, because RVD he got his Hall of Fame introduction from No People.
Yeah, I don't like the way they've done the Hall of Fame, and I'm hoping with Triple H being the old school person they say he is. I'm really hoping we go back to that theater and it being an event on its own. I don't like it being right after SmackDown on that Friday night. We get Stand and Deliver on Saturday. It's not on Thursday. So WrestleMania is a week-long event. Go back to putting it on Thursday. Then you got SmackDown on Friday, Stand and Deliver night one of WrestleMania on Saturday. Get you a 5,000 seat auditorium theater. You're going to sell it out. Even if you got a 10,000 seat arena, you would sell it out. Give these guys and girls that moment and the respect they deserve, not a tired crowd that is set through, 3 hours of SmackDown and an hour's worth of preliminary matches beforehand.
This year looks like, because I'm going to WrestleMania, and I was debating on buying SmackDown tickets, but they're not advertising the Hall of Fame for SmackDown. It's been reported that the Hall of Fame is going to be a little bit different this year, because they feel like last year's SmackDown was 2 hours. Now it's 3 hours. Fans are gonna have to sit through 3 hours of SmackDown, and then probably another 2 hours probably the Hall of Fame. So hopefully they do it on Thursday night or something.
And how do you think those guys and girls on the underneath felt? Heyman being the headliner last year and going first. How many people got up and left before the rest of them actually came out there? I mean, so like I said, give these guys and girls their due. Give them their night.
I liked it better when they had it on like a separate night. Like it's an entire different thing. Like I liked it better then, because it just felt like a real Hall of Fame. I mean, it's still a Hall of Fame for even doing after SmackDown, but I feel like it's just a better setting. The crowd.
Yeah, my favorite part when they did the Hall of Fame, my favorite part, not part, but time they were doing it was, they started out with the little stuff, and then they went to the auditoriums, and they would have all the members setting up on the stage with everybody, and then they took that away and gave the stage just to the person, to come out and do their acceptance, and that's the ones I like the best.
Yeah, I hope they go back to that this year and continue doing that. Its own separate event, so the crowd's hot. Because like back then, like Hulk Hogan, golly, like when he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, like they chatted for like at least 10 minutes before he could even talk. I don't know if I feel The Rock do this where he wants to wrestle and do his movies, do this flip flop where it affects WrestleMania. Do you guys think it should be lefty? I don't know. Rock does, if he would have made his mind up, because it just feels like last minute he decided to do Mania, because he wasn't announced on Thursday night. That's when they announced he would be back, because Nick Aldis, like every Monday and Friday, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have a video out promoting the event. They deleted that video, and then 2 hours later, The Rock announces he's going to be at SmackDown. So it was very
well. The Rock covered it well last night as far as this goes. And this is not a smart ass answer by any means, but they're The Rock's going to do whatever he wants to do. He's on the board. He's business partners with him, Ari Emanuel. Nick Khan. And Triple H. They're kind of, if Ari says he can do whatever he wants, he's going to do whatever he wants, and that was shown last night when he dropped the F-bomb on USA. So I mean, I know
that's got some power.
I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but I mean, he could say he wanted to go out there and take a shit in the middle of the ring, and they let him. They just put X over top of it. I mean, so
exactly,
he's going to do whatever he wants to do.
You give a Brahma Bull some power, see what happens.
I mean, he is the final boss essentially. Like he even said last night that The Rock owns WWE in a joking way. I guess he would say.
Piece of it.
You guys, I should let The Rock do this next year. Well, as of right now, it does not look like he's going to be able to do WrestleMania next year. He's not going to do SummerSlam or WrestleMania next year. He's got this movie it was like last week, I think, that they announced it. Maybe this week that after WrestleMania, he's fully doing Hollywood. Like he will not be able to do any WWE at all. So him doing Mania is probably like him trying to finish this story with Cody, maybe giving it some closure, because Rock and Roman might not ever happen now. Because apparently the role that he's gonna have to play, he's gonna have to tone down a little bit. I heard someone talk about this. That the character he's playing, he's gonna have to trim it down some. Like it's gonna be a whole thing. So this is the best we're gonna get The Rock as a wrestler or in a wrestling role for a few years. You were going to WrestleMania. I guess you're saying, Connor. Yes, I am going to WrestleMania. Me and Chris will be going to Las Vegas. We'll be doing the WrestleMania Night 1. We're going to WrestleCon. We'll be going to WWE World. I'm hoping to meet The Undertaker. He's doing a VIP for WWE World. It's basically like their fan.
Well, they announced Mike Tyson for WWE World that week too.
Yeah, Tyson's going to be around.
Yeah, he's going to be at WrestleCon as well.
Going to the Hall of Fame.
At WrestleCon, at least, at WrestleCon, I know I'm being the Big Show. I've always wanted to meet the Big Show. He's like the next closest thing to.
I told you before. I met him years ago when he was still a giant in WCW. He was probably a year or two into the business. It wasn't long. That is the biggest human being I have ever stood next to. His thigh was bigger around in my body.
I believe it.
They got that. I really just want to put my hand on his hand
Mm-hmm.
and just see, like, because like he's the next. He's like this
Well, I'll
generation's
give you
Andre the Giant.
context. He stopped in front of our table not to talk. He was looking around for somebody, and I just kind of happened to look up at him and say, "Hey, man, I ain't trying to bother you. Don't want your autograph. Do you mind if I stand up next to you?" He said, "No, man, go ahead." Just to give you context, I'm 6'2". My head was at his nipple. I was like, "Good God Almighty!" I mean, the man was huge.
Damn. Yeah, he. I've seen him wrestle one time. It was Sting and John Cena versus Big Show and Rollins. This was like 2015. But I'm hoping to meet him there. Dennis Rodman's going to be there.
Oh,
I'm
come
not
on,
meeting
Connor.
Dennis
We need
Rodman.
that picture.
You got to meet the Worm.
Yeah, man. Come on now. Don't be scared of the Worm. He a nice guy.
He wants 500
Oh, never mind.
freaking
Never
dollars.
mind. All right, I'm with you.
I'll take that back.
Like the Big Show's only $90. I mean $90 compared to $500 flipping dollars.
$90 is fair.
But I plan on meeting the Undertaker. Yeah, $90.
Well, being a wrestling event, and not being in Chicago, being in Vegas, the Big Show is going to have a lot longer line of people wanting to meet him. So Rodman's probably trying to make his money where he can.
Yeah, like wrestling wise, he of course the WCW stuff. He was at Collision, the AEW. I don't know why they even had him there. I can't remember what he did. Who else is going to be there? If anyone remembers Caitlyn from WWE, I plan on meeting her. Henry Godwin, Amin Johnson. We actually had him on our podcast, the All Elite Zone. I'm going to meet him in person. I've never met him in person.
Big T.
I don't know. There's going to be some other people. I'm going to meet CM Punk again. Every time I see CM Punk somewhere, I'm probably going to meet him every single time. I plan on meeting. Hopefully, John Cena does a signing, or Shawn Michaels or something. Like they're still adding people for WrestleMania, like the world part, like the fan access part. So if anyone's going to that, definitely keep in touch with that. From last night.
And to hit Michael's comment up here, Triple H doesn't have that power, man.
No, he doesn't. The Rock kind of can overrule on him.
I mean, he can go to him as a friend and say, "Man, you sure you want to do this? I think it might work better this way." But ain't no putting his foot down with it.
It's better to just let the Rock do what he's
doing. Enjoy the ride, as he says.
With him being on the board, I'm sure him and Triple H has mended fences and whatever the case may be. But you only have to deal with him so much. So I wouldn't try to step on those toes. And you kind of let it go, let him do what he wants to. The 4, 5, 6 times he comes in per year, and the rest of the time you don't really have to worry about him.
True, that's true.
I mean, he's on the board.
As long as you don't fire his daughter from NXT, you'll be just fine.
Like that's one thing. They were chanting the final boss to her on NXT. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, we're close to an hour and 25 minutes. That's pretty much it for the road to WrestleMania. I think the road to WrestleMania has been very different from last year.
Yeah, I was excited. I was excited for last year, and they have not got me excited yet.
Yeah, I hope they going into the Elimination Chamber, coming out of it, hopefully things pick up. I really feel like 3 hours has hurt SmackDown a lot. Raw's been pretty good consistently. But SmackDown, the 3 hours is just. I thought originally it was going to be great for the town. More people will get on TV. And that's been the exact
more
opposite.
people. I agree with you. I was hoping for that for like other talent to get some TV time, and it hasn't happened yet.
Like the only people that's gotten more TV, like since they've been 3 hours, the only people who's gotten more TV time is some of the tag teams, Pretty Deadly, Las Garza, and that's really like that's really all it's benefited. The same women has not more women has not been on the show. Like we, Chelsea Green and Meechin, they've had their feud, but Blair Davenport didn't get on TV; she got released. Electra Lopez got released.
And Selena coming back to TV.
Personally, I wish they would
Yeah, they
keep
did have.
Carmelo off TV till they have something better with him. I like Carmelo Hayes. He's good in the ring. He's got a good promo, and all they've done is job him out. And it's like, dude, just pull him back. You know, try to let the audience forget about the jobs you made him do, and then come back because you know that kid's got something. But you got to let him do it.
You don't want to see Melo don't Miz?
I do not. You give me Miz TV. He's great at Miz TV, and you know he's good at going there and jobbing out a couple of times when he pisses somebody off on Miz TV. But the Miz has had his in ring run, so just let it go.
Why do you?
Well, you had
we like wrestling.
Yeah, you had the show. We've been criticizing it the whole show.
Yeah, we criticize it too. I mean, hell yeah.
We're just been talking about the road to
we'll talk about it.
I mean,
that was the show, the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, like we talk good about WWE, we talk bad about. Like we talk what we like, what we don't like, what we hope's going to happen, what we think's going to happen.
I'll tell you what though, if you don't like WWE, and that's fine if you don't, I tell you what you do. You go look up a list of every single AEW world champion, and besides Kenny Omega and Adam Page, has there been any other homegrown AEW champions that weren't in WWE? I'll wait. Oh, MJF, excuse me. There's three. MJF, Kenny Omega, and Adam Page. Give me another one.
Oh, you're gonna start. You shots fired out
there. and you got two WWE guys and Moxley and Edge getting ready to fight for I'm sorry, cope. Can you cope with what I'm saying? Go look it up for me.
I mean, I think for me personally, it's not a all about liking WWE so much. It's professional wrestling that we enjoy.
And I agree with you. We watch it all. It's just but we're not we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat what's good and what's bad and either one of them. If we don't
the topic of the episode is the road to WrestleMania. Ergo, we have to talk about WWE. So that's the point.
It would make no sense to talk about any other company. Like this is.
I don't want to be the three-way there, Michael. I just want to see Punk and Cena one more time.
Okay,
yeah, and you do know that AEW is the absolute shit right now. Just to be honest, WWE is not as good right now, but AEW is not any better. We got Cope versus Moxley. We got the Learning Tree. We got Thunder Rosa not knowing what the hell she's doing with the chair. We got Marina Shafir. Oh God,
we need to put an F in AEW. All former E wrestlers.
If you don't like WWE, it's fine.
This is something we've talked about several times. I don't get the tribalism. I don't, because it's just like movies, man. You can put 10 people in a room to watch the same movie, and you'll get 5 that liked it and 5 that didn't. It's entertainment. It shit happens. You like one better than the other, that's great. But look at the topic of the show. It's the road to WrestleMania. It wasn't about Collision last week. It wasn't about Dynamite this past week. It wasn't about TNA. It was the road to WrestleMania. And correct me if I'm wrong, but WrestleMania is a WWE event.
Correct. And the thing is that I mean, if you're not enjoying the direction of WWE, that's fine. But you can't flat out say that it's bad. And the thing is, I know the majority of these people saying that stuff probably don't even watch the product to say that it's bad. They're just AEW loyalists. And I get it.
I don't even think that. I think it's just wanting the back and forth online.
Yeah, trolling. I get that.
Keep trolling.
But have your opinions about WWE. That's fine, man. But to each his own. The numbers don't lie, though.
CM Punk and Cody, I think, will happen in WWE at some point, but I don't know if it's going to be at WrestleMania this year. But it will happen eventually. Like they've had 2 stare down, like two segments. There's no way it's not going to happen. At some point, we will get that.
You talk about the Paul Heyman favor. While I'm thinking about it, I think what you might get with that is for what Seth did to Roman. They set up the match with Seth and Roman, and then he calls in the favor to be added to it and make it a triple threat match because he wants in on it too because of both of them. I mean, that's one way they could go with it.
Has that favor.
That's true.
And if it does relate to The Rock, Paul Heyman is connected to The Rock. To a certain extent, he is. But we've criticized what we don't like on here. We've talked about stuff that we do like going on WWE. We've talked about what we hope turns into something. We've talked good and bad tonight about WWE. I mean, it's just honest opinions. What Jason likes, I might not like. What he likes, I might not like. It's just
right.
There's an opinion. I mean,
Very respectful back and forth. And when you're respectful, you might be able to change somebody's mind and point out what you did like about something. But just being an ass troll, you're not going to get anywhere.
I mean, it's not like we have it's not like we have financial stake in the company. Well, they don't have financial stake in the company, but it's
some arguments on
yeah
between people, but we try doing it in a professional manner, agreeing and having like an actual conversation with someone, not. But to help you out, not to watch. Well, that's your opinion. I encourage.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, he doesn't even watch the product that he's criticizing.
And
that's hilarious.
If I'm gonna and to help you out, don't watch AEW. It can go both ways.
I mean, like what you like, but don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, watching AEW is nothing more than watching WWE from 15 years ago with a couple of new faces mixed in.
Basically.
And I was hoping for more than that. When AEW first started, and they were bringing in people like Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow and MJF, it really gave us an alternative. And now, Adam Copeland looks like he's 65 years old. I mean, and Moxley looks like he forgot how to wrestle. I mean, this Death Rider shit is completely off.
I agree, and there's no way a AEW fan can defend the Death Riders right now. I don't know how they can defend that. They know for a fact it's time to shit or get off the pot when it comes to them.
And I mean, I get they're trying to give their homegrown Wheeler Yuta a push, but I mean, he's just it's time to let that one. Not release him. I don't see nobody out of a job, but I mean, he's just
he's
proven time and time again he is not a main event player.
We are a fan of it all.
If you're going to release anybody, if you're going to release anyone out of that group, the person that I think that should be released. I don't even know why they're in wrestling.
Man, you should like her in that group because they're not letting her talk.
Well, she's just being the muscle for now.
See, I will give them credit that they have protected her a lot.
She's very protected.
She's not talking like they're protecting her to a T. They know she's bad. They know that she's like the only reason that she's there because Roderick Strong went 100%. They kept her around so they could get.
And she would tell you, Connor, that you are the problem.
She doesn't know. She thinks
you don't know her,
Connor. We don't know her. Yeah, we don't know her, but apparently we do know her.
Because when the violence play, the violence, the violence.
See, it was so bad nobody remembers it. Like, AJ Styles and The Rock. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Maybe in WWE 2K25 it'll happen, but in real life, I think The Rock's. It'd be impossible to do that, man. I think AJ Styles he's maybe got a year or two left.
At best, yeah.
And if they do anything with The Rock left, it's Roman Reigns. Like that's what The Rock's going to go against. But Jacobs, what is your favorite part of WrestleMania? What is your favorite part of WrestleMania you can tell us?
Oh, that's a good question. See, when I went, it was pretty much like a huge party. You just happened to have wrestling in the middle of it, and like I think the best experience for me at that from those two nights probably was there was two of them. First was being there when the Stone Cold Steve Austin walks into the room. I mean, the sound of that glass breaking and the pop that it gets, it shakes the building literally. And I mean, that's exciting to be a part of. Another thing was I got to see eyewitness firsthand the worst stunner ever, selling was by Vince McMahon. That was worth the price of admission. Watching Vince sell that shit, it was great. But yeah, I mean that was probably one of the two greatest moments that stick out to me from when I went to WrestleMania. I mean, it was a hell of a weekend.
Well, Stone Cold came back, didn't he?
Yeah, Stone Cold
Stone
came
Cold
back.
came back to wrestling.
I might get there one day. I have not yet been, but I need to go so I can hold up my Nia Jax sign.
That's perfect.
But if you were again, thanks for watching. We definitely appreciate it. If you want to watch WWE, is okay with me.
And you know what? We appreciate you for watching and giving your opinion. Trolls are watching us too, and we thank you for those views.
I mean,
that's right. Give us that interactive content. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we dig it.
I mean, WWE's worst storyline is better than the Death Rider story.
But just no, don't get upset because we're smart asses and you're going to get it right back.
Yeah, we're going to throw it right back at you. So,
my fairy captain, thanks for letting us know, Dad. We'll keep that in mind. But yeah, this was
chat is hilarious tonight.
Well, this is the most interesting chat we've had in a while. But we appreciate you
must
watching.
have missed us. Is what the problem is.
Yeah, like even though you don't like our opinions, you still help.
Thank you for the feedback, negative or positive, man.
We enjoy it. It's entertaining.
We're going to get monetized soon. Like we're very close to getting monetized, and you're helping us get there. So we thank you.
So we pretty much done with this lead up for now. We got anything else to add? But real quick,
go watch it. He says go watch it. Thank you, man. Thanks for watching tonight.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, before we get out of here, the only thing I want to say real quick is if you watch our sister channel, the All Elite Zone, we've kind of been absent for a little bit. Connor's been under the weather, and my father passed away, so we've been kind of out of it for the last month, and we plan to try to get back on track this week on Thursday with WrestleZone Unfiltered. I believe we're going to do a watch along, Mr. Jacobs, with TNA. If you're available, we'd love to have you. And we're going to try to get back on track this week, but we do apologize for being out of the mix for the last month or so. But we're going to try to get back to normal this week.
Yeah, we will be back for WrestleZone Unfiltered this next week. As you know, we will be back on Thursday on the All Elite Zone for that. We have been missing quite a bit on that, but we'll be back starting Thursday, and we'll be back every Thursday from there on. Yeah, we definitely appreciate you all watching. We hope to see you all for our WrestleZone Unfiltered WrestleZone Unfiltered episode on the All Elite Zone. That's basically our sister channel to this channel. They're both sister channels to each other. Mm-hmm. So definitely go check there and subscribe there. And join us for Thursday. As Jason said, we'll be doing our TNA watch along. Like the NXT and TNA partnership's been kind of big right now, so we'll be doing that. But yeah, definitely subscribe to the channel right here. We are very, very, very close from being monetized on here. If you see a lot of uploads, you know why. I'm planning on doing a little overtime on this channel just to get there. We are very close. I've never been monetized.
Hit the like and share button.
But
even to the trolls, tell them to come watch us. Stupid ass. and I'll leave you with this and let Connor tell you bye. But just for you AEW folks out there, your world heavyweight champion is Dean Ambrose. Your tag team champions are the Hurt Business. Your TBS champion is Sasha Banks. And your women's world champion is Tony Storm.
Okay.
All former WWE, so enjoy that.
Yeah. A lot of promotions will not be created without the WWE. TNA would not be created without WWE. AEW would not be around without WWE.
True.
But we really appreciate the people that are here that did comment. Michael and some other people, and we had Deshaun and some other people. We definitely appreciate you all watching. We might win at Raw tomorrow. Depends on some things. I know I have a doctor's appointment coming up. But if we do, check out our Facebook and Twitter page for the Wild World of Wrestling. All of that is in the link in the description below. The Wild World of Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe here. Turn on the notification bells. But yeah, we will see you guys definitely for the WrestleZone Unfiltered this Thursday.
All right, peace.
Later.